Welcome to the Grain of Salt podcast. My name is Hank. With me is Lil Ben.
Is it the grain of salt?
It's Salt Labyrinth. Excuse me.
It finally fucking happened. It only get worse.
No, I've gotten it wrong before. What are you talking about? Finally.
I don't think have you gotten it wrong so confidently though? I feel like you usually catch yourself.
I do usually. I have been catching
yourself.
myself.
Yeah,
but yeah. That time I was just flat out completely wrong.
Yeah. This is what we've been waiting for. It'll only get worse as we add more branches. We got so many.
And also I was wrong in that the thing I said we were going to do last time is not the thing we're doing. Because I changed my mind.
Explain your
Because
reasoning.
I was looking at the issues of Gotham City Sirens. I'm like, these aren't very good.
I thought it was because we had to read Li'l Gotham first.
There's no first. It's that I realized, I
You
love the
betrayed
setup.
me.
No, I love. You just misunderstood. The big thing is, I love that setup of those characters being together, but the reality of the comic book Gotham City Sirens, it does not fulfill what I want out of that, and my memory is very colored by the stories in in Li'l Gotham with those characters, specifically that one or two issues or one or two stories or whatever near the beginning. That is very coloring my my memory of that. It's just like, and like the best issues of that era of Batman Paul Dini stuff are the issues that are drawn by Dustin Nguyen, and he didn't draw Gotham City Sirens, so the art is not as good. And there are too many issues that are about the Riddler.
Yeah. Also, you got me. You got me. I scrolled up. You said maybe we should do it instead.
Yeah,
because the version has overwritten this comic. Like, I don't know how I got in my head that.
Yeah, you're just wrong.
Whatever, man. I have too much shit bumping around my brain. Do you remember what else we're talking about today?
Oh, the Earth X thing. We finally looked at it.
I didn't forget everything. Right. I'm on top of some shit. Yeah.
Do you want to do that at the end, or you want to get that out of the way first?
I'm indifferent, I guess.
All right, let's do Li'l Gotham. Let's do Li'l
sure.
Gotham.
I mean, that's the thing I
I'm
finished
excited.
30 seconds ago.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about Li'l Gotham because these comics are delightful.
They're very, very good. Like, that's it. It's fucking solid. It's just happy.
Yeah, every little story is about a different holiday over the course of a year, which is yeah. And this was also interesting, a digital first comic book that then later was put out as actual comics, where
gotcha.
The digital issues would be like one story, and then when they put out actual comics, they would put two into a comic. And also just like a formatting thing, like basically a page of the digital comic was half a page. So it would be just like the top half of a page, and then the bottom half of the page would just be the next page. So you could read it on phones.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Which is like the form which is like the idea of they were doing with digital comics at the time of like, or digital first stuff of like formatting for phone or whatever, and then later they repackaged it for regular comic books. But I could have given you that version of comics, but I think they look better as full pages, having looked at both.
That also makes sense.
I don't know why.
I mean, this looks really good.
It just the like full pages just look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the driving thing here for me is Dustin Nguyen's art is very good.
I mean, the art's incredible. This isn't my first brush. I was actually like, when I started it, I was wondering if I had actually read it already, and I'm like, no, it's. I've just looked at this art a bunch. Like, you've linked me stuff. I think I read some of the Poison Ivy stuff, like specifically, because that's just great. But I had not done the full thing. But like a lot of the covers and stuff, or like some panels. Yeah, shit was great. And just like I told you when we were chatting before, I recognized everyone. I knew everything. Definitely not a slew of characters that I was like, whoa, who's this? No, I'm a bat genius.
Tell me everything you know about Colin.
Everything I know about Colin, he has a hat. He turns big. He has the venom.
He does get big because of venom. Yes.
Yeah, but not like Spider-Man venom.
No, this is Batman venom.
Yeah. And
like
venom
Bane.
is the stuff it's the stuff that's pumping through Bane, who I knew as this design from probably the Harley Quinn show.
Sure.
I knew that girl in the Bumblebee costume at the Comic-Con, or I knew who she was cosplaying as from DC superhero Supergirls.
Okay.
Yeah. I forget her name, but I know her. She turns like little, kind of an Ant-Man thing or whatever. Yeah. I'm on top of this shit. Oh.
Do you know Clarion the Witch Boy?
No, I didn't. Man, I didn't know like 75% of these people.
Yeah, there are a lot of deep references.
And
but a lot of them are just straight up the versions of the characters from DC, like DC animated stuff. Like this comic is it's interesting because it's like basically a snapshot of the Batman world as it existed right before the New 52 reset. Although this book came after the New 52 had started. But then all the extra stuff, like other characters, they're like their designs are all from the 90s cartoon, like the DC animated stuff from Batman the Animated Series forward stuff. So it's just incredibly for me.
yeah.
So yeah, I love it. Because that's like what that was a period of Batman comics where I was really into just the like setup of characters and stuff for the Batman world, and I love Batman DC animated stuff. So like this book is just delightful. And it really felt like for me because I was so fucking I missed this like these versions of the characters because at the time because they had gotten rid of all of them.
Yeah.
Which makes the part where they talk about your versions of your characters being erased so fucking funny. I mean, that's literally what this book is. I mean, versions of these characters that have been erased.
And I like that. Just this is a very good example of like coming into comic chaos in a very nice way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't fucking know who half these people are, but it doesn't matter, you know? Like,
yeah.
It has no bearing on my enjoyment. Knowing
totally.
who they are would possibly increase that enjoyment, but the lack of knowing doesn't detract from anything. So, like,
it doesn't.
I didn't get the.
It doesn't matter, but it just is.
Yeah.
For me, it makes me extra happy.
Oh, totally. And it is interesting, like, coming from that monologue, because I mentioned that, like, I really like that. That was I just like the message. But, yeah, I feel like you're looking at, like, yep, all these characters got fucked. it's a different thing.
And there's the part where like Damien's hallucinating the heroes, and it's like they all have weird collars. Those are the New 52 designs.
Oh man, dude, there were so many good little bits and moments in this. Like, just actually funny. I was trying not to laugh while you were talking earlier because I keep looking at the fucking the panel of Batman that I screenshot. It's him just holding up the KO gas. Fucking just what an incredible. That was one of my favorite stories with Jenna Duffy, Carpenter for villains or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so where's the job? And he just holds up the knockout gas with that little fucking look on his face. Oh, that's
it's
so
great
good.
because we'd had that scene earlier of when Damien brings Colin to the Bat Cave and he blindfolds him and he talks about how knocking that just knocks people out with the trunk. It's so much work.
Yeah. Oh man, that shit was great. Yeah, just like how Robin is just a fucking kid, like he's a little shitbag kid.
Well, yeah, that's just Damien. That's why Damien's great.
You think I know?
Because he's the Robin who's a fucking piece of garbage. He's just such an asshole.
And then he's, well, when they're, I mean, that's like pretty early on, one of the earlier
And in
stories.
this, like, Damien really, because this is like, calibrated for kids, Damien really just feels like he's fucking Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes.
I mean, yeah, dude. Like...
Extreme Calvin energy.
Man, I didn't know what the actual like full vibe of this comic was. I just read the Poison Ivy thing, but I didn't know like how kiddie it was gonna be, how maybe it's just art and it does other shit. I didn't know. Yeah. As soon as Batman's like, hey, this is Halloween, like you get candy. And Damien's like, oh, sweet. And he fucking breaks the gumball machine or whatever. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good. This is good shit.
It's also fun.
I also learned something about how I interpret a character.
Sure.
I kind of, I did it initially without, I know that Danny DeVito played the Penguin in whatever live action Batman
Returns.
So
the
now
second Tim Burton movie.
Whenever the Penguin was speaking in this, or what's his normal identity or whatever?
Oswald Cobblepot.
Cobblepot, yeah. Whenever he's speaking in either form, I read it in Danny DeVito's voice, but as his character from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, talking about horse. I'm like, like it just came naturally to me. So that was fun. Then they fucking Jerry the turkey, reoccurring character. The turkey. I like how it was all like how it wasn't a big long story. Like I've been liking the shorter stuff. We got Star Wars Visions coming soon. Just like the shorter episodic stuff as opposed to like, oh, we're gonna do 300 pages of a single thread, which is fine, but mixing it up was kind of nice. But it's still, they still like kind of linked. We had when Batman and Catwoman went on vacation, and then they like we tie in, they get back from vacation, like just that little bit of linking, but real good.
I mean, this comic's just kind of excellent all around. So
yeah, it's a delight. Man, I don't.
But yeah, it's also just like a weird because it's such a snapshot of like this one particular era. Because like Colin and the Carpenter are characters that were created in that time and then just don't exist anymore.
Dude, I needed to ask, like, how much of the
but like to me, Colin is so important. He's Damien's friend. Damien just doesn't have friends after this.
Dude, how prominent is the Carpenter? She's great. I want more of her.
There's like one comic issue that's just about her.
Where's the solo comic?
It's one issue.
Great. I'll take it.
It's about her. Yeah, she shows up. She's like part of the Mad Hatters, like Alice in Wonderland themed gang.
Yeah, I know. I noticed them. They didn't escape me.
She's like, there's just like a page. She's like, Batman walks into a room. She's there. She's like, I'll take you. And she's got like a power saw. And he's like, Batman literally says, seriously? And then cuts to her being like handcuffed and him leaving. But then in Gotham City Sirens, like she's like Catwoman hires her to like make their base or whatever. Like that idea comes about. And then like there's like an issue about just of Streets of Gotham, which was running, I think, at the same time as Gotham City Sirens, but it's the better book because it's drawn by Dustin Nguyen. And there's an issue it's about the side characters in the Bat world. It's like every issue just is about someone else, and there's just an issue about her where she's like setting up a trap for Batman.
Nice.
Like setting up a death trap.
Yeah, as you do. You gotta pay the bills, man.
And then like he like walks in while she's still working on it. It's like
hell yeah.
It's very good.
I feel like I'm gonna check out Gotham City Sirens anyway.
Sure.
At least give it a peek. Maybe I'll bounce off it hard. Who knows?
The thing, like, it just kind of doesn't have any thrust to the story, and then like the creative team changes.
Yeah.
There are too many issues. There are issues that are just entirely about the Riddler. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like Poison Ivy is like dying in like 2 stories in a row.
Lame. That's lame.
And then the last story is all about the girls' like heterosexual romances because we don't want it to be too gay, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Meh. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll see.
Yeah. It's just not what I want. What I want is them going shopping together.
Yeah.
And hanging out.
Look, I'll be real. The Harley Quinn Poison Ivy romance is good. I'd rather it be anyone else. I don't like Harley Quinn.
Sure.
Oh.
I honestly just like the 3 of them hanging out as friends a lot.
Oh yeah.
I just like I like setups for these characters in the Batman world to just have like connections with each other that are not just punching on both sides. I just think that's good.
We should watch DC Superhero Girls. Probably not what you want at all, but
no,
felt like that. They do stuff. They hang out.
Mm-hmm.
That show is 90% fish out of water trope on the part of Deanna / Wonder Woman.
Sure.
You know I'm about that life.
I do.
Yeah, no, this is a very good comic. Highly recommend if there's any interest in like Batman and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Very consumable. And cute. And also pretty funny. That fucking Clayman box costume, or Clayface box costume.
And Damien dressed up as Clayface wearing cardboard boxes.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. We also, a while back now, checked out Earth X.
Yeah, I had Ben read the Earth X Sketchbook, which was a thing that came with an issue of Wizard Magazine, because Wizard Magazine commissioned Alex Ross to like do the sketchbook, because there were sketchbook things of like his character design and like thing for Kingdom Come, and they're like, do that for Marvel, and he was like, okay, Fat Spider-Man. That was the starting point. It's the future of the Marvel Universe. What do we got? Spider-Man's fat.
I really
and because it wasn't conceived as a project that was actually going to have a comic book attached to it. Kind of, it was just like, why don't you just start thinking about stuff? It's like he goes a little weirder with stuff than
it's so weird. And
Kingdom Come did. Yeah,
it's real interesting. I was
anyone who's animal themed is now part animal.
Yeah. Like, it takes, like, what? It's like the mutant stuff. Like, there's no more mutants. Like, that's just everybody with the exception of Tony
everyone
Stark.
just has powers. Yeah. Which was, is an idea I love. Just the mutant gene was... people getting, like, powers from science fiction stuff, that was the same as the mutant gene. It's like a dormant thing getting activated by these weird circumstances, and just eventually everybody gets there.
Yeah.
Homo superior just is all people.
It's fun that you mentioned Fat Spider-Man right off the bat, because when I saw that, I was like, this dude is like a big fan of heroes just like stopping any amount of physical activity, I guess. Like, maybe like Superman, it kind of made sense, I feel like, because like,
I mean, he didn't stop physical. He just grew a beard and took off his shirt.
He was a little bit. He got
a little ponytail.
He got like a little chub going, you know.
But
there's the thing is, like,
he was built. He wasn't shredded.
Yeah. But I mean, Spider-Man was thick,
fat. Yeah, Spider-Man got fat.
Because
Spider-Man's the everyman.
Here's the thing, though: if he's swinging around and shit and like being physically active, that's just not gonna happen.
Well, he hasn't been.
I guess it didn't. I didn't think
retired.
you mentioned that though. Is it after retired? Because he was in the costume or whatever.
Yeah. Well, now stuff's happened, and he's got to put the costume back on.
Yeah,
it's like the start of The Incredibles.
I guess. I guess I assumed he would have kept. I don't know. The shit was cool though. Like,
yeah,
the art was great. I love the just all of the like sort of what if shit. Oh, It was real nice.
And there's just a lot of ideas in there that wound up in regular Marvel continuity, like over the course of years. Just like slowly things from that, like,
do you have an example
playing out?
Do you have an example of something that was like shoved in? Is there like anything like
like simple things like Black Panther and Storm getting married? That happened.
Okay. What about so now that you mention that, was like female Thor a thing before this? For example?
No.
Okay.
See, female Thor. Well, yeah.
Like, that's interesting.
Well, yeah, and female Thor, the way it is a different thing, and
well, yeah,
because it's just Jane Foster.
But still,
the thing that happened before that was female Loki. Loki was just female for a while.
Well, yeah, because women are evil. Obviously, that's easy to put in. Duh. Comic nerds ate that shit up. I think now they ate that shit up.
Loki's just officially gender fluid.
Loki's just look, man. He was a horse
chaos.
For a while.
Chaos.
Like,
yeah, he became a kid.
Loki could be anybody. He could be anybody. He can fuck anything. Nobody can stop him. I'm trying to think what the I mean, I guess just overall I like how it was. I thought it was just good. You said sketchbook, and I figured there'd be like some introduction or writing or whatever. I didn't expect the amount of world building going on, and it's a very. So that was nice. I'm like, we're just gonna talk about fucking pictures for 15 minutes or whatever. That seems like a lot. Like, yeah, they were good, like, pictures. But the way that they built, like, it all built on each other, and that was,
Yeah.
it was just super cool. Like, it was a great way to take in like a world building exercise.
Yeah, and I read that without. I'd never read Kingdom Come. When I read that, so to me it was way more about like this like future take on the Marvel universe, like taking ideas that are there and just like pushing them to the extreme.
Yeah.
And like the big thing for me is like unifying the Marvel, like the superhero side of the Marvel universe and the X-Men side of the Marvel universe. Like, and that it just is a thing I've always loved when like stories like find the way to bring those two together and like clash those two worlds. Because there's plenty of stories and stuff like where they feel like separate things, where they're not like in conversation with each other. Because like the world of the Avengers are like working, like sometimes working with the U.S. government or whatever, and in the world of the X-Men, the U.S. government is demonstrably fucking evil and builds giant robots to kill mutants. And you have to like square that circle.
Just fucking leave it. Don't ask too many questions. Just like old Bruce Wayne in the Li'l Gotham comics. Like, it's a weird paradox. Don't worry about
it. Don't worry about it.
My favorite fucking explanation. In my younger years, I needed the time travel has to be accurate. I didn't know what fucking accurate was, but it had to be accurate. Now I'm just like, fucking hand wave that shit. I don't care. Is it cool? I'll allow it.
Rule of cool. Got Vampire Batman here. He's going to help out.
We got Man Bat.
I think it's Dracula Batman, actually.
Damn. Better watch out for his fucking arch nemesis, Beowulf.
Beowulf, Joker.
Oh, no. Fucking cursed. Incredibly cursed. Yeah, no. And you said for the Earth X thing, like a comic ended up coming from that, but it was like it wasn't drawn by
Alex Ross didn't draw it though.
Yeah.
I actually love the art in it. It's really good. It's like a little more like, I don't know. It's not as
compare it to a Magic
clean.
the Gathering artist. Give me an idea.
It's much further away from like default Magic art.
Oh, well, go beyond the default art.
Because I don't know who I would compare it to.
It's more like, what's the comic called? I'll compare it in real time.
It's called Earth X.
Earth X comic. Hopefully this gives me the comic and not just the sketchbook. I mean, it's hard to tell from covers, I guess.
Well, I think Alex Ross did the covers.
Yeah, this is just
him. Yeah. If you're looking at covers, you're just looking at Alex Ross art.
I was like, this looks fucking good and familiar. Yeah, I don't know. It's comics. Earth X Celestials in New York City. I don't think that's from the comic. I think that's just a print.
I'm trying to find a page that's like,
yeah,
gets across the vibe properly.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of different stuff.
Because a lot of it's like there's just like heavy shadows and stuff. Like a lot of it's like the coloring is kind of weird. The lighting's weird. Oh yeah, also Wolverine's fat too.
I mean, that's just the Earth X vibe.
True. Not true. Spiders Man isn't fat.
Fucking Spiders Man. Finally, this is why, when you get to build on the other shit you've read or learned about, I should say, not necessarily read. Yeah, I don't know if there's. I mean, I see this print, and this print is giving me like Akira vibes of the Celestials in New York City, but I don't know if that's from I don't know if that's from the actual book or if that's just inspired by. Yeah,
there's also like I
do see the heavy shade.
There were like two sequel comics also, and the art in those is different again. The art in those is more standard comic book art, I would say.
Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like these individual pages aren't getting across.
It's whatever. But here, I'll just send you a random page.
Yeah, okay.
Like there's like a more muted color palette to it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
I mean, it looks good. Looks like a.
Yeah, no. I like the art, and they're like long digressions of
this text
the
like
frame
as fucking hell.
Dude, there's so much text. There's also like at the end of every issue, there's like just text of the conversation between the like the frame characters, Uatu and Machine Man. And it's just them like talking through lore, character history stuff of like what's happened with these characters. Like every issue is like just so dense with like stuff. And that's like because when I read it, like I knew way less about the Marvel universe, so I learned a lot of like Marvel history through the context of this weird book.
I was gonna say maybe that would be our thread to like check out to start or something, but I'm just not in a dense mood. I'm not in a dense mood.
It's a lot,
and partially switching between manga and comics these days. My screen is a little smaller and it's not vertical. I'm reading on a laptop. Reading comics is so much more difficult than the manga. Like the manga text is so less frequent and it's bigger. And it's just so much easier to read. I gotta like lean in to read even for Li'l Gotham, which I don't think was that heavy on text. Like it just was so much smaller.
Maybe I should have given you the digital versions.
Nah.
If I had thought about it, oh well.
I'll get my Surface back someday, and then I'll get to read comics vertically again. Or
I made sure to buy it. I bought a fucking giant iPad so I can get full-size comic book pages on it.
I mean, I've been thinking about it.
That's the life.
Yeah, man. Like when I look online and just when I kind of looked into tablets and stuff, knowing that I would use it mostly for comics. And people are like, "Oh, the iPad Mini." I'm looking at my Surface and it's like fucking 13 or 14 inches or whatever. I'm like, I don't know if I can go to a mini. Like this is unwieldy, but damn, the colors look so good.
Yeah,
everything's so big and clear, and you can just like zoom in, and it's even bigger and clear.
Yeah, and there's just also a thing of like, I can't deal with the like digital reader format stuff for reading comics digitally, where they'll just the Comixology app used to do, where it would like feed you like a panel at a time.
Oh yeah, you can still do that.
That drives me crazy. I can't read comics like that. I need the full page. Yeah. No, I never do that. And that is like, that's like a way to get around the screen problem, right? Of like, if you're just zooming in on one panel for your screen, then it's easier to display. But I just can't deal with that. So I need to like put the thing to full size and just like, for me, it's much easier if I have it at full size and I'm then just like moving it around or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I look at the full page, then I zoom in, and move it around as I'm reading it. So yeah, having just that full thing just there was like is like perfect for me. It's just like actually worth it for me to read comic books.
Yeah, man,
So that's been nice.
I felt it fucking hard when I was catching up on Berserk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, seeing like having it be tiny it's just so lame. Because that art gets fucking insane.
Yeah.
For anyone curious, volume 34 is where Miura just like snorted cocaine and then went balls deep. Like, it's just ridiculous. I'm like, man, it'd be cool to have this in either physical form or like on a big screen. That'd be neat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I've also like put comic books up on my TV.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's not a practical way to read, but it is funny.
I mean, if it's got great art, great colors, like, go for it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have like a thread right off the bat for this, I think.
Sure.
So this will probably be one where you gotta like talk it out, figure it out.
Yeah. I don't think the play is to now read Gotham City Sirens.
I'll peek at that on my own and I'll mention it next time or whatever.
I don't like hate the normal art, but it doesn't like do it for me. And then there's like a lot of fill-in issues too. It's like it never quite gets its feet under it, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's just not what I want. It didn't come together, that comic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the Labyrinth was about me discovering comics. How dare you? Try to steer me clear of subpar offerings in favor of better shit in a world where time is limited and we're all faced with our own mortality every day.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Well, and I've just felt like what I promised were vibes.
Promise, like I'm also, I'm not.
Well, no, that
I'm
was why I
to-
picked it, right? I picked it when I picked it on the podcast. I was like, because that
for
comic's just about
for that
the good
comic.
vibes.
I thought you meant like the entire premise.
No. The thing you said, you just wanted a comic with good vibes.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like,
No,
vibes.
you
Well,
delivered.
my brain goes to Gotham City Sirens, and I was looking at it, I was like, this is not a good vibes comic, actually. The good vibes I'm thinking of are from Li'l Gotham.
Yeah.
That's where the good vibes are. I was just conflating things, honestly. That's why I made the pivot.
I have a thread. I do have a thread, but I feel like the thread is going to be me like pulling the thread up like it's tied to something and then finding that it just ends in a little bit of fray, and at the end there's like a sign in front of me that just says like Batman animated series. Because I always get interested, from Harley Quinn animated series, from a handful of screenshots that I think are from the 90s animated Batman series, and just various bits of cultural osmosis and blah, blah, blah. Like Mr. Freeze and him being a sympathetic villain and blah, blah, blah.
That is you are correct in which that literally points directly to specifically Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Because that character was fucking nothing before that show.
Yes.
But that show, that character design comes from that show. That any kind of origin or pathos with that character comes from that show.
And that's what
even the Batman and Robin movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, where he is a joke character, even that just steals his tragic backstory from that Batman the Animated Series episode.
Yeah. So
And that episode fucking rules. It's so good.
Yeah, and I've seen it, like screenshots from it and, threads
Yeah.
or whatever. And that's not even like, ooh, since we've started, that's like, over the past 15 years or whatever the fuck. Since I've been online. More than 15 years. But,
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, just doing more of that character. But I'm, like, pretty sure this is just a watch thing instead of a read thing. Or should be a watch thing first if there's anything to read. Well,
Yeah.
I can
The
take
only
solace in
other
the-
fun Mr. Freeze thing I can think of is it's fun that in the Batman and Ninja Turtles crossover, he becomes a polar bear.
That's pretty random. I mean, it's like, what? What?
Well, all the Batman villains get turned into like Ninja Turtles villains, like they're animals.
Gotcha.
And Mr. Freeze becomes a polar bear,
And that's,
which is
if that's
objectively
if that's the
correct.
case, yeah, like that makes sense. I can see it.
But that's about it
Yeah, well,
for Mr. Freeze stuff that's not Batman the Animated Series or that one episode of Batman Beyond that he's in.
I mean, like, also if there's, I actually don't know how if it would lead you to wanting to just be like, no, we gotta watch it. Like Poison Ivy's always a good time. I agree with some of her sentiments. I also like how she can demolish a plate of steaks, as shown in Li'l Gotham.
I really love making Poison Ivy just a complete carnivore.
Absolute carnivore, yeah, dude. It's so fucking good. There's a great bit in DC Superhero Girls about I don't think it's her eating meat. I think it's everybody else. Like, is someone else a vegetarian? Is like one of the heroines a vegetarian or something?
I don't know.
But they're all camping and they're like deciding to like roast vegetables over the fire, and they have the little montage of them like skewering the vegetables, and it's like horribly graphic. And Poison Ivy's like losing her damn mind, or her normal persona, I guess.
The only instances of vegetarianism in DC Comics I can think of are because of Grant Morrison when they were writing Animal Man. They make Animal Man become a vegetarian just because they were.
Sure.
And they also are the one who created Damien. So the Damien's like thing with the turkey in this comes like there's a part where they rescue a cow and Damien just makes it Bat Cow, but it's just a normal cow that then hangs out in the Bat Cave for a while.
Hell yeah.
That's just in main continuity.
I remember who it is now. I've remembered. Someone was vegetarian in this version. Jessica Cruz is a vegetarian. She's like a hippie. Kind of.
Jessica Cruz? I don't even know what character that is.
Green Lantern.
Oh.
A Green Lantern. Part of the Green Lantern people core. Whatever.
Yeah.
Not full on a hippie, but like there is a couple episodes where they bounce like, because the shtick is that they're all in high school or whatever, right? So there's like a couple bits where like her and what's Poison Ivy's actual name? Pam Isley.
Okay.
They're like protesting together to like protect a tree and shit. So yeah, she's
Jessica Cruz was invented in 2014. Probably slightly right after I stopped reading comic books.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So that explains that.
Yeah. I mean, what's his name? Hal somebody is also in it.
Hal Jordan.
Yeah, that's the one. He's a dick.
That's
he's
the
kind of
Silver Age Green Lantern. Yeah.
We got Barry Allen as Flash.
That's Silver Age Flash.
That's where I'm remembering. I'm about to embarrass myself. Where did we see Green Arrow recently? What was the name of the? Why am I blanking? Why am I blanking so hard? Where did we see Green Arrow?
Was he in Kingdom Come?
He was in the Zatanna comic.
Oh.
He was in the Zatanna comic, right?
Was he? Yeah. Yeah. Because he's in Black Canary date.
Right.
Whatever.
Yes. That's where, because he's in this.
Together.
He has that same design.
Yeah.
Got Jimmy Olsen. Got Dick
He was
Grayson
also
as
in
Robin.
Kingdom Come.
Yo, Katana was in this. I know who that is now. She was in Li'l Gotham.
She was in that first Suicide Squad movie.
I never watched it.
Her introduction is hilarious because it's just the character saying, "This is Katana." She has her sword has the soul of her dead husband in it.
Incredible.
Like, just shows up halfway through the movie. It has to be like exposited about her whole deal bluntly. No like
That's
dramatic like character thing like they did with everyone else at the start of the movie.
so the
That movie's such a mess.
the character that I recognized in Li'l Gotham, Bumblebee, aka Karen Beecher. On her little page here, there's a link to a fucking someone added Lauren Foss about like they wonder how old some of the characters are. Lauren Foss is like, I never thought about it specifically, but most of the characters are 16. Bumblebee is 14, and Deanna is 317. Wild. Anyway,
She was made from clay.
she's made from fucking clay. What?
Wonder Woman?
I've never done a Wonder Woman origin story. When would that have happened? She's just always around.
I think that's her original origin story. I think more recently, in like the New 52 or some shit, they made her Zeus's daughter or some horse shit. But I think she's made from clay.
That sounds right. I don't think we get that in the DC Superhero Girls show. But I mean, made from clay is cool.
Yeah.
I think they just. I'm looking at her page.
Paulita made her out of clay.
I thought there was gonna be like some bullshit about like, oh, she's 317, but she was like in cryo for 2 centuries or 3 centuries or whatever the fuck. But no, Hippolyta tells Deanna that she's only 317 years old and too young to make her own decisions. They just play it straight. Okay.
Yeah, because she's from ancient Greece.
Everybody knows. I know so many ancient Greeks that lived to be hundreds of years old, thousands of years old.
Well, she was made of clay.
Oh,
The Amazonians. They're like ancient Greeks that are still alive and hanging out.
If there's a show that I not force, but encourage for the podcast, it'd be that one. It's cute.
DC Superhero Girls?
Yeah. If you're ever in a cute mood and want to check out something new.
Just never in a cute mood for watching a thing.
Maybe you'll be in a cute mood someday.
No.
You haven't been in a cute mood for watching something so far. Look, anything's possible. My world has been transformed. I also was never in the mood for anything. And then I watched Dragon Ball. I've read Superman.
Sure.
Anything is fucking possible, man. I can't go back.
I'm just saying, as I get older, all I want is hyperviolence.
There is
when
not
I'm watching a
hyperviolence. I can just promise
or things I've seen before. The problem is it didn't get through the door. at the time. So now it's got an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Also, I guess that's not true. I did watch monthly Girls no Zawa-kun. That anime was cute, and I enjoyed it.
Ha!
That wasn't that long ago that I watched that. But I was watching anime. I was watching anime with someone else. It's kind of different than watching something on my own by myself.
We could watch it together.
Could.
I mean, it's on the table. Of the shows that I've brought up, that one's, I feel like the most likely, just because of all the comic shit we've been doing.
Yeah.
And also some of the other ones turned miserable. Anyway.
Dark times.
They're all ending or getting canceled or turning horrible. I had to take
Turning
that.
horrible sounds worse than being canceled.
One of them turned horrible for me specifically, and then also got canceled. Maybe it went too far. Maybe everyone else felt the same. Remember the ending of Kung Fu Hustle, and I was losing my mind? Like the kid, the snotty kid. They did that, but for like 3 episodes, and they're like, what if this vibe was the entire world? What if this was the environment? Like, what if everything was made out of scabs? And I'm like, I am in hell. This is awful.
There's a Pro CD skit like that. I'm just thinking of, but it's like him, like trying to tell your friend that this character in this show gets better, and the character being the worst.
Oh no, man! This one is like definitely no. But it got worse. They got worse. It doesn't get better. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Well, we'll have to figure out what we're actually going to read, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe just something with cheesecake. What's the cheesecakiest comic you know? Or beefcake?
I don't know. There are a lot.
Hashtag still disappointed that that one version of ripped shirtless Thor wasn't he was in like one issue or whatever. I forget what it was.
I think it's shirtless Thor was in more comics than I thought when I was looking into it. But it also wasn't like good art.
Yeah. The struggle. You can have shirtless Thor, or you could have like well-drawn Thor, but you can never have both simultaneously.
That's not true. He was shirtless and well-drawn in one comic.
How like prolonged periods?
No, that one issue that we read.
That one thing. Okay. Oh, I got you. Yes, you got me there. In one issue or one comic.
Yeah. But after that, he kind of just went back to normal design.
If there's a version, or if there's not a version, if there's a comic featuring that, I forget her name, that one woman that looked exactly like Storm but just had a slightly different hairstyle.
You mean Storm?
Oh, I still lose my mind over that. That was so fucking funny. Too good. The funny thing is, I feel like I'm pretty good with faces normally. Like I'm good at recognizing people. That just all of that came crashing down. Apparently, those abilities are one ponytail away from just being lost.
Yeah.
Good times. Yeah, we'll figure something out. I'll find a thread, or we'll talk about something and it'll pop.
Yeah, we'll turn off these mics and then talk about what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah.
SoulCirclePodcast@gmail.com, SoulCirclePod on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
I'm not on Twitter.